Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the MMA Junkie Radio preview show, or pre-show, I guess. If you're watching, that means you're watching Goes move around the cameras. Today, we have a ton of guests. George in his email said we had 5 guests on the show, but technically we really only have 4 guests, and then we have Jason the intern. We've already established this. Jason the intern. Not exactly equivalent to the guests that we have. We actually have 4 late weights on the show today. Right, Coz?
Let's see. We do. One of them has fought at welterweight. But yeah. It's been a lightweight week.
Lightweight week. Hey, can I read the MMA history today just in case it doesn't get read because we have a very full show today?
Sure. Go for it.
All right. June 22nd, 2002. Can you guess what happened 15 years ago today?
No.
34-year-old Joe Rogan made his commentary debut for UFC 37.5. Is that a thing?
That's a good one. So why don't we got to make sure we get to that one.
But what's 37.5? They did .5s?
There were a couple weird things that happened in that time. I thought he came before that though.
No, that's what it says. Unless they're lying. Coming up in a minute. Could they be faking history?
Nah.
What's happening?
Not those.
Oh, Ghost. In the last few seconds, do you want to help me pick a song for the second hour?
Sure. Go for it. I like it.
Should we just go with that one? 30 seconds.
What else do you have?
Try another?
Ooh. Shit. That's a classic.
I know, right?
Go with number 2.
Number 2?
Yeah.
Right. Doing it. Locking it in.
But you can still
Coming
get
up
the
at
other
10.
one in, right? Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, they're all being played. I just didn't know which one to do.
Okay.
All right. Coming up. Stand by.
Starting.
This is your captain speaking. We are making our descent into Las Vegas McCarran Airport. On behalf of our crew, we'd like to thank you for flying MMAjunkie Airlines. Now please fasten your seatbelts and put your tray tables in your upright position because the descent is gonna be a little bit bumpy.
Alright, Junkie Nation, it's time to roll, baby, on MMA Junkie Radio with Gorgeous George and Gold. This is what we doing while we do it, baby. All night long, we rollin'! Yeah!
The MMA Junkie Radio revolution is upon us.
Can you dig it?
There's no escape. No escape. Through the vast frontier of cyberspace and through a sea of stars in outer space.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We've solidified our combat communications stranglehold.
We are controlling transmission.
With the use of MMA Junkie Radio and SiriusXM satellite radio technology. MMA Junkie Radio. Commence transmission. Live from MMA Junkie Radio HQ in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and Goes.
From the fight capital of the world, inside the beautiful Mandalay Bay Racing Sportsbook, you are listening to the MMA Junkie Radio Show. I'm your host, Gorgeous George. With me, as always, is the devious and dastardly Goes. Back east, handling all the producing duties, it's going to be Danny. This is the show that matters. All right, let's get going here on a Thursday.
True. Yeah, the only show.
Today's the NBA draft.
You're pretty good about remembering things.
Yeah.
Like that.
And I think, Goes, despite the fact that Lonzo Ball was a Bruin, let's face it, he wasn't there for a year. I know he played his freshman year, but he probably took 4 classes, had tutors for 2 of them. He really only did like 12 credits. I don't think he went the spring semester, so he was basically there for 6 months. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, you got to get over it. Kareem was a Bruin, wasn't he?
Yeah, Jamal Wilkes, he was a Bruin. Russell Westbrook, if he were to sign up, I'd take him, Kevin Love, some really good Bruins over the years.
I wouldn't take Love.
Oh, man. He hasn't played well with the Cavs like he's supposed to, but he was good for 25 and 10, man, when he was with Minnesota, right? Is that where he came from?
Yeah.
Definitely a lot better than I remember him in college, but I think Lonzo Ball's the pick. He just makes other players better, and so I like that unselfishness. But along with it needs to come some sort of a signing like Paul George.
Ooh, but
because
we
we
can't
need
get him till
scoring.
next year. But
Well, no, they
they're
could do a
talking about
trade.
right?
Yeah, they could do a trade. So we would need some support there.
Can you imagine that? That'd be nice.
Very nice, yeah. But yeah, tune in tonight if you're a Hoops fan. Obviously, most of the compelling stories will be with Philly, who drafts first. I expect them to take Fultz from Washington. Then we got the Lakers, the Celtics. The Celtics kind of hold a lot of the cards. Whatever they do, there's going to be like a trickle effect. De'Aaron, that guy De'Aaron Carr, I think his name is, Josh Jackson. All the other guys. It just depends where they're going to go. Although I heard they didn't work out Jackson, so I don't think he's going there. So after that, Phoenix, they'll all figure it out. It should be pretty fun, at least through about the top 10. Some people will hang in there for the whole draft, but at least the top 10 will have some really really big moves that'll affect many teams going forward.
How about this weekend?
Yeah.
No plans, right? Because it's all about fights.
Yeah, fights on Saturday, pay-per-view for Bellator, 180 in conjunction with NYC. God, I wish I was there. I really wish I was there, especially after just going to New York. They're doing a good job of having, fan fest, Q&As, pre-parties. I'm sure there'll be post-fight parties, and that, along with all the action in the lobbies, is usually fun. But just seeing Vanderlei and Fedor taking pictures.
Did you see them face off?
They faced off?
Yeah.
Vanderlei and Fedor?
Yeah. So Vanderlei.
Oh, I saw them hugging.
They had them. What?
Vanderlei?
Oh no. Sorry, Vanderlei and Chael.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen anything with them yet.
So they face off, and you could already tell from the get-go, Coker's trying to keep distance between them. There was two other guys there too. And
wait, he's trying to keep distance between
yeah,
them?
so
okay.
like he's already like this, right?
Right.
And so Vanderlei's getting closer and closer, and finally he kind of throws almost like a half shove, half punch to Chael's shoulder, which Chael comes forward a little bit more. Chael was telling him, like, get away, get away. I think Chael was just thinking, I don't want to risk not getting paid for all this. And they were able to separate.
What was it, a good shove?
Nah.
Or
I mean, it was
some sort of a push saying, hey, your days are numbered.
It was like this, Like,
oh, really?
like something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, if you can, that'd be great. I looked yesterday. The only thing I saw was video of face-offs that included everything up till Phil Davis and Ryan Bader. So I thought, well, that must be the Bellator 180 portion of the card. The Bellator NYC portion of the card must be forthcoming. Because I didn't see Lorenz, I didn't see Chandler, I didn't see any of the others that are part of the pay-per-view portion. But Goes is right. So we got Bellator on Saturday, and then we have the UFC on Sunday, UFC Fight Night 112. One of the headliners is going to be on the show today, Michael Chiesa. In fact, we're going to catch up with him pretty quick. So let me tell you what's on tap for the show, kind of give you a little bit of our agenda, so you all know where you can fill in and participate by calling in at 866-522-2846, 866-522-2846. You can call in. We're getting a lot of new callers lately, and we've really been enjoying it. That, with our mix of veterans, makes for a fun time. Chiesa will join us here in about 7 minutes or so. So we're going to probably sneak in a quick break. That way we're not log jammed at the end of the hour. He'll be followed by Caros Fodor. In the second hour, we got Jason High. Fodor and High actually oppose each other on June 30th, PFL 1. So we'll be talking to two of the guys from the main card there. Drakkar Klose, he'll be fighting at the TUF 25 finale, which will be episode 10 of that season will be recapped by Jason the Intern after Drakkar Klose. Drakkar Klose faces Mark Diakise. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that one right. So we got 5 guests, and I would say there's pockets probably after Fodor And maybe there's not many. We got 5 guests, so it'll be tight squeeze. If you do call in, we'll get you in. We figure it out one way or another. Maybe a couple minutes of OT if we have to, but we'll get you in. It'll probably be in and out. Won't be really able to stretch our legs today. Do we have any odds on McGregor and Mayweather?
They're not up. They're not up on the board.
I figured if I mentioned them, maybe we could get away with that's it. That's the only chat we'll have about Mayweather McGregor.
Impossible.
But I'm hearing Ice Cube won't budge. He wants to get paid, and I'm also hearing they could move the event, the Mayweather McGregor event. Have you heard anything else?
I heard the date could get moved, but not the venue.
Yeah, which would be great for Triple G and the Canelo. And it would suck for this show because that would mean even more months of enduring Maymac talk. All right, here we go. We're watching here on the screen. What volume goes?
Yeah, I can get volume.
All right, cool. Yeah. If they wanted to, they could have got closer. Yeah, Vandaley's the more aggressor of the two. Okay, I can live with that.
Yeah. And this is what we're all waiting for with McGregor and Mayweather. Is that moment, right? That's
I think
that's
so.
what's going to sell tickets.
I think so. I don't know.
People have already made up their mind.
Tickets
I'm
are
either going to buy it or I'm not, but something like that is what makes you flip.
Pay-per-view, I think. Can you show it one more time?
Vanderlei and
yeah. So if anybody caught the tail end of that or didn't get to their computers as we're talking about this, I'll give you play-by-play. Scott Coker takes the water bottle away from Vanderlei. Vanderlei could have closed the gap if he really wanted to then. He does it now when Scott Coker does get there. Same goes for Chael. Chael could have done it as well. So I think they know it's a pose. But then at this point, I think there's just tension that we can't see. And no matter how close they get to each other, no one wants to get punked. You know, at the same time, they have to show restraint because they do want to get paid. And that New York commissions,
they don't mess around.
They're a little wacky, right? We know a few people have gotten trouble getting their licenses there. So, yeah, I think everyone's still filling out the state of New York, not NYC, but the state of New York's commission. So I think they did as well as they could have. But this is us just dissecting and having a little bit of fun here. Hopefully that's okay with Kim from Thailand. He has a problem with the drama in MMA. He wrote me four paragraphs, 4 short stories. You know we can get SoundCloud feedback now?
Yeah, I've seen some of those.
Yeah. So I started to read them. I started to reply. I go, fuck that. If you don't like it, that's my opinion. I do love the drama in the sport. And I guarantee you that got us a lot of traffic.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I guarantee you got played up here or it will get played up there. So
it made me a little bit more excited.
That's the secret sauce.
You know what, though? I will admit this. I thought Vanderlei would look a little, what the hell is that? A little different.
Can Danny hear that?
Hey, Danny, can you hear that?
Hear what?
No.
You didn't hear anything right now?
Yeah, is there music in the background?
Yeah, I'm playing music because
yeah, we're gonna take a break.
Had to go to break.
We're gonna take a break, but there was this little screeching sound that happens about once every 2 weeks. We brace ourselves. It's almost like someone's like cleaning our teeth, right? With that little.
No, it's well, actually, that is pretty
like
good.
A screech
I was gonna say it's like House Party when Bilal bumps into the, or not Bilal. What was his name? Chill, right?
It's like a
Chill
scratch.
bumps into Bilal's mix. But if anything, he was hooking him up. That's how bad the mix was.
Anyways, long story short, I think Vanderlei looks in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to take a while for him to get some of that baby fat off, you know?
Yeah. Well, and then how about Ryan Parsons saying Chael got up to 260, so he had to get a little bit of weight off. That was prior to the Tito fight. Anyway, all right, you're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. When we come back, we'll be talking to Michael Chiesa from UFC Fight Night 112. Stay close.
To link into the MMA Junkie Radio Network, hit us up on twitter.com at MMA Junkie Radio. This is MMA Junkie Radio. Here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and Goes.
We're going to get right into it here. We got one of the headliners from UFC Fight Night 112 taking place on Sunday in Oklahoma City. Goes by the name of Michael Chiesa. He's opposed by Kevin Lee. Fox Sports 1 has you covered at 9 p.m. Eastern start time for that main card. And, of course, they are the main event. Joining us now is Michael Chiesa. What's up, Michael? How you doing?
Doing good, sir. How about yourself?
Good. Welcome back to MMA Junkie Radio. You're on with George and Goes. Hey, I forget. It was a few years ago, but why aren't you 18-2 instead of 14-2? If you guys were live during your season, some of the fights went 3 rounds. I don't get that one.
You know, I'm still a little perplexed by it, but, you know, the real fans know what my record is, so that's all that matters.
Okay. All right. I didn't know if they had ever given you anything official that I may have just forgotten about. But how's it feel, man? Over a year, but you're back, ready to go, and the UFC thought of you so much that they're putting you in a headliner bout coming back, you know, after being gone a year.
Feels good, man. Feels like I never left. You know, I'm very well prepared for this fight. My weight's on point. My camp's been great. I'm healthy, and it just feels really good to be back. And it's really, it makes me feel good that the UFC as a company still has the faith in me to put me in the headliner. And, you know, here we are, just a few days away.
Let me tell you a couple quick intangibles. You know, when I was talking to your manager, I said, hey, I know he's got a packed week, but if we can squeeze him in, it'd be great. We were here for March Madness, and we were talking basketball. We had you on the show, and one of my buddies who just barely watches MMA listened in. He goes, tell me when he's fighting. I'm a fan. And I think he just said your passion comes over on the radio waves, the airwaves, and he really enjoyed the way you conducted yourself. So I've given him that nudge. He's tuning in. The UFC giving you the headliner after, like I said, a year. I think you got a little bit of that it factor going, bro.
Yeah, I think I bring a little flavor to the table. You know, I'm not your conventional fighter. Not in the way that I live my day-to-day life, and not in the way I compete. And I think people like that.
So I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked Kevin. Are you in a position with a win where you could possibly be a Tony Ferguson opponent for that interim belt? Are you up there? I mean, is it you? Like, are you catching Khabib and Tony and all those with a win over Kevin Lee and possibly fighting for a world title soon?
Absolutely. I mean, especially me, between the two of us, just because I've been right there on the brink of that fight with Tony Ferguson, you know what I mean? So I don't see why I wouldn't be the man for the job with a win on Sunday.
That's right. You guys were slated to fight last year. Michael Chiesa joining us here on MMA Junkie Radio, fighting at UFC OKC, UFC Oklahoma City, UFC Fight Night 112, whatever. But it is on Sunday, folks. Make a note of that. It is on Sunday with a start time for the main card at 9 p.m. Eastern time. 14-2 overall for Michael Chiesa. He's got 14 wins. 10 of them coming by submission. All right, Goes, what do you have for Michael Chiesa?
Michael, so I want to know, do you like to maybe embrace being the underdog? Because there's been so many fights now where I felt like maybe you could have been the favorite in the fight, and we're here in Las Vegas. This is the odds capital of the world, and they still have you as a slight underdog. Have you embraced it at that point, or does it bother you?
It doesn't bother me at all, man. Like I've always said, man, this is not a math equation. This is a fight. And, you know, I don't play the numbers game. You know what I mean? So whether I'm the dog or the favorite, it makes no difference to me, man. I know what I bring to the table. I know how hard I train, and I know how fierce of a competitor I am. So, you know, I'm not into the odds. I don't play into that stuff. And, you know, while Vegas odds might have me as the slight underdog, I think the people that know fighting know that I'm the favorite. And, you know, either way, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I'm going to show up and compete my hardest either way, and I'm going to get that win on Sunday.
Yeah, because I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about what people write in rankings, and I didn't want to come to the conclusion that you get disrespected. I think sometimes you get overlooked. And the one thing that I was thinking about was this fight. If you get the win, do you feel like people are going to say, wow, Chiesa is that good? Or, man, I don't think Kevin Lee was ready. How do you think they'll react to that?
Well, I'm sure Kevin's ready. You know what I mean? Kevin's a tough kid. You know what I mean? He's your guys' co-host pretty much, right?
Every now and again.
Yeah, he does come in, yep.
Yeah. So, no, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Kevin's a fierce competitor. And, you know, when I beat him on Sunday, I don't think people are going to say he wasn't ready. I'm a tough guy. You know what I mean? I'm ranked 6th in the world. You know what I mean? There's I don't really see why people would say that, but if they do, it really doesn't matter. I'm not here to please the people that go against me. I'm just here to put on for my city, Spokane, Washington. I'm here to just compete. I got a goal in mind. I'm going to become a world champion someday, and this is just another part of the process. So whether people are for me or against me, it really makes no difference to me.
When you guys face off at the weigh-ins, have you been able to put everything behind you that happened at the press conference?
I don't care about the press conference anymore. Like, literally, from the time I left Dallas, it's water under the bridge. Like, people think it's they're asking, like, is this extra motivation for you and this and that? It's like, dude, I don't care. You know what I mean? The guy could walk in my room right now and start spouting off and shooting his mouth off and saying the most vulgar things he possibly could about me and my family, and it wouldn't ruffle my feathers again. You know what I mean? That was just a one-time thing. It was just a small lapse in character. I don't care about that shit. You know what I mean? I get to punch the guy on Sunday, so it's whatever. You know what I mean?
Has he crossed a line that he can never go back on?
I don't know. You know what I mean? It's tough to say. I'm not thinking about those kinds of things. You know what I mean? I'm not thinking about, are we going to be friends again or any of that crap? You know what I mean? I'm not thinking about any of that stuff. I'm thinking about competing on Sunday. I'm thinking about winning on Sunday. I'm not thinking about, what's going to happen between him and I after the fight. I don't think about those kinds of things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, that does make sense because he told a group of reporters in Vegas, they had a lunch for him, and he had stated that he was, I guess, maybe mad dogging, whatever the terms are now that people use, mean mugging, I guess, at the retreat, and that you wouldn't look at him. But if you're telling us, hey, you're just beyond it, that explains it. Who knows? I don't know if he felt like he was trying to punk you or what. But and we also asked him, did the UFC need to bring in extra security just in case, the fighter hotel, right in an elevator? Sometimes we hear these stories that hell, I think Holm and Correa were sharing a sauna, so we didn't know if you guys needed to be separated or not. But it seems like you're past it.
Dude, I don't even remember seeing him at the athlete retreat. Like, I don't care. That's the thing. Like, he's in his own world building up. Maybe he saw me and who knows? Maybe he's just building things up in his head. But I don't care. I get to fight the guy. Mm-hmm. So, like, I could give two shits. And listen, let's just be honest. There isn't a man that walks God's green earth on 2 feet that I would ever be slightly afraid of. Period. Bar none. Stipe Miocic, you're the baddest man on the planet. I don't give a fuck. I'm not scared of anybody. You know what I mean? So why the hell would I be me? I don't remember. The only time I remember seeing him at the athlete retreat was he came on our shuttle. He was coming onto our shuttle, and then they were like, no, put him on the other one. Mm-hmm. That's the only time I ever saw him. And that had nothing to do with me. Or no, that wasn't even at the athlete retreat. That was in Dallas. So, okay. Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? It's that's just, whatever he's got to tell himself to build himself up and give himself some motivation going into Sunday, go for it. I could care less.
One last thing here. Your last couple opponents, very respectful, Clark, Miller, Dariush. They don't bring, I guess, that type of antics, whatever you want to call it, pre-fight hype, like Kevin has. In a way, has it been good, though? Like, just more people know that Michael Chiesa's fighting. More people know Michael Chiesa's headlining. More people know the stakes between Chiesa and Lee, so is there that benefit that you have seen from at least everything that went down in Dallas and goofy guys like us asking you these questions?
Honestly, no, because I'm sick of talking about the press conference. You know what I mean? It's gotten to a point where people are like, what does your mom think about it? Mm-hmm. I'm like, why the fuck are you asking me that? Let's talk about the fight. Who gives? I mean, no offense to my wonderful mother, Teresa Chiesa, but who gives a shit what she thinks about the press conference? You know what I mean? What the hell does that have to do with the tea in China? It means nothing. You know what I mean? People should just be hyped because this is a great fight. And I understand that people want to see drama. That's what they like to see. Whatever. I don't mind. I like doing the media. I like talking to you guys. But it's sometimes the questions, they get just a little ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, what, do you want to know what my sisters thought about the press conference too?
No, I get it. Look, I will defend the media in this. I will defend this.
And this isn't directed to you guys at all. I'm just speaking in general. You know what I mean?
Because in a way it was cool that because I'm pretty close to my mom too, so I don't know what my reaction would be, but I thought it was pretty cool, and I guess people just wondered if your mom said, attaboy, or if she said, hey, stay professional, or, that's probably what it
Yeah.
was. But I get it, Michael. It
Yeah,
has been a lot. It has been a
yeah,
long time
yeah.
since then.
Yeah, truth be told, since we're on the subject, I was raised to defend my mother. My dad was very protective of my mom, and that's just second nature to me, and so that's just how I reacted. So there was no level of disappointment, you know what I mean? It was just it's just how I was raised, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, man, I totally feel you. All right, but I'm not sure if you do predictions or not, but how does this fight end on Sunday? What can the fans expect? You going for that choke, or you want to put a hole in his face?
I just want to finish. I'm just going to go out there and do what I do, man. And if I can do that, the finish will come, and it'll be a beautiful night.
Michael, let me sneak one more in there. Just talking about gaming, in all your interactions with fans, has anyone ever gone out of the way to tell you how much you've made them along the way, with your wins?
I've had a few buddies. I had a buddy win a buttload of cash with me when I fought Al.
Nice. Okay.
I quit in the finals. So yeah, people are making some money, but I've also, it goes both ways. I've had people lose some money on me when I fought Jorge Masvidal. So it goes both ways. I think it breaks about even, probably.
Yeah. Sometimes we call it a 2-horse race, thoroughbreds, whatever, and it's funny because I'm watching the horses here at the Mandalay Bay, and same thing, man. You guys do make us some money. We're talking to you. You're 14-2. Trust me, man. We've made some money on you too. So anyway, we'll leave it at that. I hope you have a safe weight cut, and we cannot wait for this fight. You two are great fighters, and this should be a great encounter at UFC Fight Night 112 on Sunday.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right, take care. All right, folks, that's Michael Chiesa, and you can follow him on Twitter, MikeMav22. Very calm, very collected, handled himself like a pro. Much props there. Again, at MikeMav22 is his Twitter handle. Thanks to the Rube for lining that up, and we're going to take a break here. When we come back, we'll talk to Caros Fodor. It's MMA Junkie Radio on SiriusXM, Rush 93.
Billy Ray was a preacher's son, and when
Wow. Wow.
Charm, compassion, common sense. These guys have none of that. You listen to them, so you're no better. I am awesome, though. They are Gorgeous George and Goes.
SiriusXM is now on Amazon Alexa. Just enable the SiriusXM skill. Log on into your account and say, Alexa, listen to Sirius Rush 93 on SiriusXM is what you would say, I guess, in if you're looking for our channel, which you should be. For more information, visit SiriusXM.com/Amazon Alexa. Pretty easy, huh, Goes?
Yeah, I like Alexa.
Yeah. Talking about Alexa Grasso or Alexa here?
There's another one?
From Amazon.
Yeah, no, Amazon's cool.
Yeah. All right. We just hung up the phone with Michael Chiesa, and now we go from one superstar lightweight to another. Caros Fodor will be fighting on June 30th, Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. His opponent that night, will be Jason High. This is on NBC Sports Network at 10:30 p.m. Eastern start time for the main card. They're going to fight pretty late. Joining us now is Caros Fodor. What's up, Caros? How you doing, man?
Doing good, sir. How are you?
Good. Hey, so you haven't fought since you fought your brother last year. That's been a while.
No, man. Yeah, no, yeah. It'll be by the time I fight Jason, it'll be 11 months, almost to the day.
Is it because you've been healing up from injuries? You just decided to take some time off, or World Series didn't have any fights for you?
No, I've been hanging out, just waiting for the call.
Okay. I mean, that was a tough fight, obviously, to fight your brother, but I remember watching the fight and you being composed through it all and getting past it. So I just thought I would have seen like a few more fights since then.
Yeah, actually, my contract expired with World Series, I think back in February. So then we went through some negotiations there, and then I re-signed with them just recently. So, yeah, so that was the cause for the break. But, yeah, the fight with my brother, I'm glad that one's out of the way. It was probably one of the most emotional fights I've had, but I'm glad that's over with.
Are you and him closer now or further apart because of the fight?
We hated each other for the rest of the summer and didn't speak at all. And then we made up on Christmas morning, actually, at my mother's house. So we've hung out, I think, once since the fight. But, yeah, we made peace, and we're all good.
Well, that's cool. And if you don't mind me asking, what on Christmas Day, who made the first move? You, him, your mom? Like,
I think it was mutual. I was drunk, which helped me. Helped me ease the pain to make the offer. We all make breakfast at my house, and I handed him some eggs because it was pretty awkward with the dead silence in the house. So I just, as normal, I made breakfast and handed him some eggs, and he was receptive to it. And I love his son, Freedom, my nephew. So we were exchanging gifts, and it felt like the right time. So it just happened.
Big hug, some tears. Was it like that?
Yeah, a little later on that came. It was pretty casual in the beginning.
Damn.
But the more alcohol consumed, the better it got.
Yeah.
So you could probably never hear teammates argue about fighting each other, right? Because you took it to a new level. Like, you're not trying to hear that, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, not at all. That was pretty awkward, man. I was standing across from him. It was pretty weird. There was a lot going into it. It was more emotional because losing to him would have been absolutely devastating to me. So I had that, and then fighting my brother, who I trained with. He knew everything about me. I've cornered with him, against other people, and it was just so weird. But that'll never happen again. So I'm glad that's out of the way.
Did you ever go through any regrets of doing it?
Yeah, right. I mean, afterwards, when we weren't talking at all, afterwards, I was like, oh, that might have been it. That might have been the straw that, we probably won't ever be cool after this again. But after Christmas morning, it kind of gave me a sense that there was hope for us. And really, the fight wasn't that big. Me and him had fought over way more important things in the fight. So in the scheme of things, the issue wasn't that big. But we're good right now. We'll just hopefully ride out this good streak for our whole lives. We're always up and down with each other. So right now we're on a good one. So I'm trying to just keep it that way as long as possible.
It was a Christmas miracle, right, guys?
It sure was. And how about going over to Carlos's for Christmas? He's spiking the eggnog. He's got eggs for you.
Oh, man,
gifts.
You guys love it.
Yeah, hugs and everything, man. Might have to crash that someday. You're fighting Jason High.
More than welcome to.
Oh, and you know what? When you became a free agent, was it all about World Series for you? Was that just the one-stop shop? You negotiate with them and then you were back, or did you actually explore other avenues?
Yeah, I mean they treated me well, and I'm happy with my pay. So that was pretty much. We continued to talk to them and came to a good agreement. So yeah, it wasn't a lot of shopping around.
Mm-hmm. By then, did you already know about this possible $1 million tournament as well? Was that one of the turn-ons? I guess one of the pros.
Oh, I did. That came after I signed the papers, but and I'm still not sure how it's going to work. I heard a rumor that we might the contract I just signed might in January be no good, and we'll have to all sit down again and come up with a new contract for the new league. I'm not sure if that's true or if that's going to work, but I'm happy with the one I have right now, and I'm interested in. I want to stay with them next year when they switch over. So I'm just not sure how all the details are going to work.
What have you been told about this fight? Daytona International Speedway, but I've never been there. So, do they have a small little venue that won't be exposed to the outside? Are you fighting outdoors, or?
Man, I had no idea this was happening until yesterday. I did an interview with Sherdog, and Mike Sloan told me that the whole walkthrough. So it's news to me. Apparently, they're going to do the NASCAR race, and then after the races, the people will have the option to walk down onto the grass where the cage will be set up. It's going to be outdoors, and they're just, as long as it's not a hurricane or some craziness, it'll happen, I guess. And then the people can walk down, and we're going to fight in the middle of the racetrack, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
so you remember George K1 at the Coliseum?
Yeah.
So the Coliseum as a racetrack, but for people who run, right?
Right, track and field.
Picture that being a motor race track, and then in the middle, remember they set up the cage? That's how they're going to do it.
All right, and so they'll make an adjustment because there's obviously an angle to the racetrack, right? They'll figure that out.
I would imagine, yeah.
Wait, on the infield, Caros, or on the racetrack?
I have absolutely no idea. I thought there was an arena down there that we were going to be at. I didn't know anything about this.
Do you feel like those racing fans will translate into fight fans? I feel like if I'm at a racing event, somebody goes, "Want to go watch them fights?" I'm down, right? Just get down. If anything, get down on the track.
That's what I'm assuming too.
Hell yeah! Caros Fodor joining us here on MMA Junkie Radio. Goes, what do you have for Caros?
Caros, are you gonna play at all to the racing fans? Is there anything you're gonna wear or anything? I'm thinking that old Snoopy racing scarf or something, man. I think there's got to be something you play.
No, man, I'm pretty plain. I'm just concentrating on Jason right now and trying to perform well. So I don't really care where the venue is. I just really want to have a good night. I've been training hard on my mindset and trying to just ease everything because I'm on my last couple fights here. This will probably be my last contract. I wanted to retire at 35. I'm 33 and a half, so I'm just really trying to enjoy this whole experience. And I really am, man. The sport was kind of tough for me a couple of years ago. Just like tough to go through camps, and I wasn't really motivated. But now I'm like kind of feeling like I'm wrapping it up. So I'm just looking back and enjoying the whole camp process and, getting tickets and going down to the fights. This has been one of the most enjoyable camps I've had in a long time.
Are you of that mindset even if you keep winning?
Well, I'd have to keep winning, and the pay would have to go up a lot. Like I'd have to be the champion in order, I think, to keep going. I mean, I think, anyways. We'll see what happens in a year and a half, but I've been competing for like 13 years now, and it's just body's kind of beat up, and I don't know, looking towards the future. But I'm still really excited for this final contract, and I really want to go out on a high note. So I'm training hard, and I have every intention of performing and winning on June 30th.
We think we have the perfect walkout song for you. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
All right. Can you play it, Gus?
The walkout song that you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, the one for Caros Fodor, who's fighting Jason High, who will be a guest of ours, by the way. So if you have any message you want me to relay to him, he'll be a guest of ours in the second hour. You just let us know. But, yeah. This,
okay.
What do you think of this?
Just a good old boy.
Oh, God.
Right, with one of them old Confederate jackets or something like that?
I don't think you get away with that.
Oh, man, that might play well down there.
Exactly. They'll dig it. You'll have a lot of fans.
Somebody get him a General Lee to come out.
Huh?
Get him a General Lee to come out.
Yeah. I mean, that's the Southern crowd right there. I guess the fact that you're fighting an African American, that might tense things up a little bit, but you know what we mean. We're just playing more to the South theme.
Yeah, plus it's a good excuse to walk out with a girl with Daisy Dukes, right?
Yeah. Plus, you're part African American. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a Southern thing.
That's all good. Yeah, we'll see. I already got my song picked out, so we'll see.
And 35 represents just a number where you want to get away from the damage the sport is doing to your body, or you have another career you're set to, take off. And, I know you love working with kids. Like, what does 35 represent, and why is that the end?
It's kind of a number I picked out a while ago. Actually, I picked it out kind of when I was in the not really digging the sport so much. So we'll see, man. If I continue camps go like this, I might extend it. But I picked that number a couple years ago when I was really kind of, going in between organizations and not fighting a lot, and I was like just kind of losing my motivation to go through a camp, But now this camp has been great, and training and everything has just been going so well and enjoyable. And if I perform well, and and win this fight, then we'll see, man. Because I really do want to make as much money as I can, but my body is getting old, man. It hurts, and I got the guy I take care of, Garth, who lives with me, the autistic man. So it'd be nice to kind of just not have to do 2-a-day practices anymore and just get to hang out with him and go travel and do stuff like that.
I hear you. All right, Caros. Well, thanks for the time. Great catch up with you. And we look forward to your fight on June 30th versus Jason High. Jason will be a guest of ours. You want us to pass on a message, a prediction to him, anything?
No, I'm good, man. I'm wishing him all the best, and I'll see him on June 30th.
We will pass on your kind regards. All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Take care. See you.
Good fight.
Yeah.
I was there when they when Cepho asked him if he wanted him. Want to hear?
Yeah.
You want to get high?
I like the fight, and I hope both guys enter the $1 million tournament. It's a regular season with a playoff. I don't know why I keep calling it a tournament. I mean, I guess if you involve playoffs, it's a tournament. But I'd love to see them both fight there, along with yesterday's guest, Foster, who I prefer at lightweight. His last few years have been as a lightweight. But he will be fighting as a welterweight, and his first run with the UFC, or his only run, I believe, with the UFC was at welterweight. But you pile up these names, and it'll get people involved because they're veteran names who have talent. When I saw Caros Fodor fight his brother, who's not as technical as he is, he looked really technical to me. And, as long as his cardio's there, he looks like a tough out for anyone, especially if you want to strike with him.
Sure, yeah.
So that's why it surprised me to hear that he may be done, but I got to respect it. If he's pleased with his career and the money he's made and he can move on to something else, hey, definitely more power to you.
I'm glad him and his brother made up.
A lot of people can't walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's take this break, and that way when we come back, we'll do a straight run of calls because we're wide open for the next 20 minutes until we get to our next set of guests. Like we said, we have 5 coming your way. We put 2 in the rearview mirror. Thank you to Greg Savage for lining up the Fodor interview. And we're going to take this break. Take your calls at 866-522-2846. And then we'll come back with Jason High, Drakkar Klose in the second hour, along with Jason the intern. He returns, and we'll talk about Tough 25 with him. We'll wait on all that. Recap episode 10. Stay close.
Just in time to, I was about to give it up. I knew love was just a punishment.
Yeah, you. Can you please tap that rather large fellow on the shoulder and tell him it's time for more MMA Junkie Radio with Gorgeous George and Goes? Thank you.
Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, it's At the Fights on SiriusXM Rush, Channel 93. Join Randy Gordon and Jerry Cooney for interviews with Mayweather Promotions CEO Leonard Ellerby and Barclays Center CEO Brett Yormark. At the Fights tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern on SiriusXM Rush, Channel 93. If you missed any of the show, listen any time on your phone with the SiriusXM app. And one more time, SiriusXM is now on Amazon Alexa. Just enable the SiriusXM skill, log into your account, and say, Alexa, listen to Sirius Rush Channel 93 on SiriusXM. For more information, visit SiriusXM.com/Amazon Alexa. Obviously, you want to insert the name of your channel when talking to Alexa. You can say NBA Radio, which is Channel 86, another favorite of mine. The
We'll
NFL.
be here waiting. What they'd probably say, right?
The NFL Radio is Channel 88. First Wave is 33. 70s is 7. 80s is 80. Hip Hop is 46. Actually, it's like 43 for 46. 51 through 54 is EDM. Howard Stern coming in 100 and 101. The soccer channel is 85. FC goes. You ever catch that one?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I actually, you know what I really enjoy, George, is the 80s channel, the 90s channel. And I don't watch professional wrestling, but I like Busted Open. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah. No, they made it real fun, man, for 2 hours to be talking about, you know.
And At the Fights is great, too.
Yeah. They pulled it off. That's why the award-winning Busted Open. Jim from Long Beach, start things off. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Cool. What's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the McGregor fight versus Mayweather.
All right.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I don't think it's, I kind of think that it's kind of going to be rigged. I think that McGregor's they're going to let McGregor win so they can have a rematch. And I also like the fact that Oscar De La Hoya is all upset about it now. It's because it's going to cut into his fight with Triple G and Cronulla.
So how are they going to rig it?
I think they're going to have Conor McGregor win so they can have a rematch.
Well, no, but what's the process? Like, is Conor going to catch him and Floyd's going to flop, or the judge is going to receive, fat envelopes before the fight so that they can look at the fight in a certain way? What's the scheme here?
Conor will knock him out, but it's just rigged, because, it's more of an event. It's not really, because nobody really expects Conor McGregor to be able to beat Floyd Mayweather. It's just it's more of an event, and it's all about the money and publicity, and, and then the Triple G fight, that's a real fight. And I could just see that going into to another venue,
Mm-hmm.
And, so I just kind of think it's just, it's just a game, to make money. And I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to it,
You gonna
I don't
order
know
it?
if I want to pay for it.
Well, the funny thing is if Conor were to win, I guess I'd have to think it's rigged because I just don't think he could possibly beat him.
Well,
but I don't think Mayweather Promotions is going to risk their license. They're both getting paid handsomely. I just think Conor has nothing to lose. What's he supposed to do? Beat Floyd Mayweather in boxing?
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck believes that? That's not supposed to happen. Hang tough with him for 12 rounds. Massive respect. Hang tight for 6 rounds.
A miracle,
that's
by
massive respect. So, and to get paid for it along the way, and then he just gets to come back and start fighting, defending the lightweight belt. That's a great year for Conor McGregor. He had a great year when he lost to Nate Diaz in early 2016. He came back and beat him, and then beat Eddie Alvarez. Still had a great year. I think some people even had him as fighter of the year despite the loss. So I just don't think it needs to be rigged. So yeah, that part I disagree. I do look forward to Canelo versus Triple G, Jim, and thank you for the call. We're gonna move on to Brandon from Louisville. What's up, Brandon? How you doing?
Yo, you got a lot of fucking nerve. Don't think I didn't hear you yesterday. This is Brandon, the best caller from Louisville. What the fuck you're talking about?
I don't know. There was a Brian. There was a Brian that called in that was pretty sharp.
Here's what happened. I said that Brian was the best caller from Louisville. You're the best caller from Louisville. You misinterpreted the whole thing.
I'm not done with you yet, Mr. Tucker. So there's that. Then you let some muppet on the air before me talking about a rigged fucking fight. What kind of stupid shit is that? Mayweather's going to take his first O in a rigged fight? Man, get that shit out of here. And then you give Fedor my theme song. You don't do theme songs anymore, but you give it to Fedor. By the way, Fedor's English is getting much better. I'm very proud of him for learning it. I didn't even hear the Russian accent.
Yeah, no, we gave Fedor's song to Vanderlei actually.
Don't
no,
correct him. He's pissed.
The guest you just had. Use my good old boy things from the Dukes of Hazzard.
Caros Fodor. Okay, yeah. I see where the confusion lies.
We apologize.
Wait, that wasn't Fedor?
No. What? Fedor wouldn't fight Alexander Emelianenko. There's the difference. Caros Fodor would fight his brother. He has fought his brother. Something tells me that wasn't their first fight either. But that was fun. It was cool to have him on the phone. Hey, how about this? What's up with the Louisville basketball team? Did you know that they're the highest grossing team in the NCAA as far as the basketball program? That's how big they are.
Really?
Forget about North Carolina, Kansas, UCLA, Kentucky. It's Louisville. But are they going to get any of the banners taken down? That's the one thing I'm concerned about. I mean, sanctions, scholarships, that doesn't apply to me. But are they going to make them take down a banner? Do you know?
I don't. It's the nuclear option. It's the thing we're worried about most here. I'll take the 5-game suspension for the head coach. I don't think Rick knew anything that was going on, but at the end of the day, he's the one in charge of the program. So, yes, suspend him for 5. Actually, I'm surprised there's only 5 conference games. Sure. Some fines.
He's self-sanctioned, by the way. They self-policed that. They suspended him for 5 games. Who knows? That's proactive, and I think the NCAA will appreciate it. I just don't know if it'll be enough. As far as the head coach knowing, I don't know. I mean, when I found out Paterno knew that, or had an idea that Sandusky might be a bad guy, you have to know. It's just whether he got direct, actual info. Hookers are fucking basketball players, or man, those guys there with some chicks, last night, but nothing happened. If it's casual in conversation, perhaps, but as far as explicitly, who knows? I would think that the head coach has an idea because the assistant coaches have an idea because everyone talks.
I heard Joe Gibbs one time. He said, I can't remember what the scandal was or what, but he goes, look, man, we put in 19 to 20 hours a day. He goes, I sleep in my office.
Right.
I know everything that's going on in this place. He goes, if a peanut guy gets fired from the concession stand, he goes, I know about it.
Yeah. All right, speaking of peanut heads, we'll let Brandon from Louisville go. Let's get to Showtime from Tennessee. What's up, Showtime? It's your time.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
What up?
What up, man? Man, I'm kind of torn, man, with this fight, man. I think I'll go the Floyd Conor fight. I think I'll go watch it somewhere, but I don't think I'm gonna shuffle out $100 for it. I'm not gonna. No, I know Floyd gonna win. I'm just saying I'm not gonna pay $100 for that shit, though. I'll go to a bar and watch it. But even if I'm on the road, I'm gonna buy the Triple G fight if I got to, but I'm not gonna buy both of them.
Yep.
But I'll just go. And this coming from a guy that'll buy an MMA card, a UFC card if I'm on the move. I'm just not gonna buy that, not for $100. Man. I'm good. I'll go pay $10 or $15 to get in the bar and watch it. I may even pay $20 to get in the bar and watch it. But I'm not. My cable bill was high as hell from the Floyd Manny fight. I actually think I sat there and watched that fight by myself. I think at home.
Yeah.
And I bought it. Or it was me and a friend.
I've done a turnaround as well. The spectacle of it all will be entertaining. Just seeing Dana and Leonard talk about it the other day up close, and knowing the press conference is going to be crazy, and the fact that the rest of the world's going to be watching it. I've changed my tune. I will watch. I still won't pay. I'll contribute, but I won't pay. Got to move on, Showtime. Thanks for the call. It's always great to hear from you. Safe travels out there. Folks, we're going to take a quick break, followed by a sports update. When we come back, we'll be talking to Jason High, the opponent for Caros Fodor at PFL 1 on June 30th. Stay close. We'll be right back.
The same again. I'm gonna keep on the run. I'm gonna.
right, here we go. It's the second hour of the MMA Junkie Radio Show. It's Thursday, June 22nd. And we encourage you to call in during these pockets where we're not talking to guests, although we will be talking to Jason the intern, Jason High, and Drakkar Klose, or Klose, I'm not sure. We'll ask him.
Let's have a Jason call in. That way it'll be 3.
3 Jasons? We'll ask Drakkar if he goes by Jason?
Maybe. I think if he had a nickname, there's not much you can do, right? The Drake, maybe?
Yeah.
I love the Drake.
I just sent a, because now that we have this pocket, I just sent a YouTube to you and Danny. If one of you two can play this from about 30 seconds on, I think it will help us understand a little bit more about what may have happened to Matt Hughes. I thought,
Really?
yeah, it was from Pat Militich.
Oh, okay.
I did send out a message to Jason letting him know that we tried to reach him and we couldn't. So hopefully he'll call back or call in. Yeah, that's Caros Fodor's opponent.
Hey, Jay.
And yeah.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. Jason is there, and he's ready to go.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right. Joining us now on the hotline is Jason High, who will be fighting on June 30th in Daytona Beach, I should say, on the infield of a racetrack. You can watch these fights at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time on June 30th on NBC Sports Network. That's channel 220 if you have DirecTV like Goes and I do. And again, it'll be Jason High versus Caros Fodor. Caros was our previous guest. Now we get to talk to Jason. What's up, Jason? How you doing?
What up, man? Doing well.
All right. Good to have you back on MMA Junkie Radio. You're on with George and Goes. We tried to stir up the trash talk, but Caros was very respectful. We informed him you were going to be on the show right after him, and he just passes on kind regards, so we failed.
Yeah, you know, who wants to talk trash? I think it's silly, you know. But I don't have anything against them. I still plan on beating them up, but you know, it's business.
Yeah, I know. It was a weak attempt on our part, but I'm just being honest.
Why do I get lumped in? It was your question.
Okay, it was me. It wasn't Goes. It was just me. I thought he might say something like, "You better tell Jason High I'm gonna smoke his ass," you know, anything like that. And he didn't say anything. But you guys are veterans. See, I look at these records. You guys have been around. You guys have fought the best. So I think you are past the trash talk. You've established yourselves, and I'm looking forward to seeing this fight. I'm also looking forward to this tournament. I hope you two are involved somehow, regardless of the result next year, for the $1 million payout.
Yeah, I'd like to be involved in that for sure. Everybody likes millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying?
What would you do with a million? Have you ever earned $1 million in your career, whether MMA or other stuff?
No.
No.
No, I haven't. No.
Are you $1 million short of $1 million?
What? Talking about it.
Or
one time?
Yeah, no. Just at any point, have you come across that kind of money?
No, I'm not $1 million short of $1 million, but I'm pretty short. You know, I mean, I'm not quite $1 million short though.
What would you do?
What
would you do with that cash if you made $1 million and won a tournament? They hand you that big old check.
I'll probably pay some taxes first, get that out of the way. I don't know, man. I don't know what I'd do. I don't know. Maybe I'd buy some Bitcoin.
Ask John Fitch about that. He's on the same card. He's very educated about Bitcoin.
Yeah, I'm not into, you know, I don't like to, like, spend my money before I get it. So, you know, that's a bad habit. So.
Yeah. He's also, if you want to keep going, into, what do you call those? Ethercoin?
Something like that,
I guess
yeah.
Ethercoin is the new one.
Better,
Ethereum.
right?
Ethereum, yeah, that's the new one.
Yeah.
Ethereum, yeah.
I mean, I haven't had good luck investing money, so I think I just like to put it in the bank, and if anything, I guess real estate's the ticket. You know, duh, everybody knows that. I'm sure people have had some nightmares with it, but all that other stuff.
You're still holding on to your MySpace stock?
Yeah, man, it hasn't worked out for me. I hear a lot of stories about athletes who make money. What's that?
I said land is probably the way to go, you know, but yeah, Bitcoin's more, you know, I have a friend in the gym that describes it as like the Wild West right now. You know, the swings are pretty big with Bitcoin, so yeah, it's there, but you know, you should just be ready to take some hits, you know.
Do a lot of people come up to you, you know, especially when you make these fight purses and go on a good run and ask you to invest with them or ask you for loans? Like, what's the life of an MMA athlete in that regard?
Only people that I keep the circle pretty small, so only people are asking me for money is one or two family members that I only hear from them when I have after they know I got paid.
Mm-hmm.
So for the most part, I'm trying to hang around with people, keeping it pushing,
You've been around for a long time, Jason. So you started in 2005. You fought for Dream, very respected organization. The UFC twice.
Yeah.
Strikeforce, World Series of Fighting. So very impressive. You have, again, 20 fights with W's. So that's legit right there. A lot of respect. But I guess I want to ask you, I mean, you guys want to know what just happened?
What,
I forgot my question. Yeah.
It happens. It happens.
What the fuck?
Red.
No, wait. I just literally spaced out on my question. I'm going to send it over to Goes, but it's going to hit me. And I know it had to do with 20 fights. Let me look at this shit again. 20 fights. He's been around.
You should have just made something up.
No, I could have, but I figured he's a veteran. He would have caught on. He would have went, wait a minute. You're bullshitting me here. I sense it.
You need to stay off that dope.
Yeah, I should have said, what's your favorite planet? What's your favorite dinosaur? Goes, ask him a question. Let me see if it hits me back. Otherwise, I'm going to have to retire, man, from doing this show if I'm forgetting stuff on the fly like that. Go ahead, Goes. Go ahead.
Jason, I've broken this fight down in my head, okay? And this is what I see. I see
remember.
Caros Fodor.
I remember. Stop, Goes.
I have to shut up in the middle of my question because
people will think that I cheated. Here's what I want to ask you. After 20 fights throughout your career, have fans or friends jumped on and off the bandwagon, the Jason High bandwagon? That's what I wanted to ask you.
Like I said, I keep the circle pretty small. I don't know, like I have a few friends. I have my circle of friends is like pretty small, so they're all very supportive, and they just want to see me happy. So no, I haven't had any friends jump off the bandwagon. I don't really know about fans. I don't really care that much either. I mean, I appreciate the fans and everything, but if you worry about what fans are thinking, you drive yourself crazy, man. So
you're like the third guy in the last 24 hours that has said that about the fans. I think MMA fighters as a whole are generally turned off. Kevin Lee said it, Goes. Michael Chiesa said it, and now Jason High.
Yeah, any kind of fans of anything, I'm like myself included. I'm not. They're fickle. They just they're back and forth here and there. I mean, that's just the nature of fan. Fan is short for fanatic, so that's how it is.
I think what you're thinking of is 1% of those fans that you have that say something to you that's negative, and you're lumping them all in. But trust me, Jason, you have 99% of your fans that if they were fans from the beginning, they're probably still fans of yours now. So anyway,
totally. For the most part, fans are like, for the most part, like if you go to a fight or if somebody recognizes you out, whatever, people are really cool, So it's just a few people really like face to face. I've literally never been out somewhere and had somebody come up and tell me I suck, or your last fight was terrible or anything like that. Fans are really, if you meet people out, anybody that's got the courage to come up to you, and I'm always really nice. I like fans, and it's flattering, and it's it's really cool. So the fans like that come up to you are all most of the fans that make contact with you are like pretty cool and very respectful and all that. So it's you can't worry about like you said, the 1%.
Let me turn it over to Goes here. Sorry about that, Goes. I cut you off.
Oh, how nice of you to turn it over.
Deeply apologize.
Jason, when I break down this fight, the one thing that I see that stands out is the way your ability to mix your power and your speed. I don't know that Caros can battle that. Is speed and power, are those like your biggest weapon in this fight, do you think?
Did you ask that because I'm black?
Yeah,
wait,
you left
black?
out explosive.
Yeah, you're very.
You left
you're
out
very
athletic
fast.
and explosive.
I know,
You
right?
run track?
So the
Oh
guy
my
that
God,
forgot
you're
his
so
question, you let him
powerful.
off the hook, and the guy that
Jesus.
remembered his got
You've
tortured.
been out there doing deadlifts and power cleans and shit. You're just so athletic. Yeah,
You're fast, man.
You know, I can't even. I really can't even front. Like, I don't think of myself as fast, but people tell me I'm fast. And like, you know, every time I think that I'm fast, you know, I'm like, there's, you know, I just work out with somebody and I'm like, no, that guy's fucking fast. Or, you know, people tell me I'm really strong too. And, you know, I don't know. I need to grapple myself, you know, or fight myself. But I definitely feel like, you know, the main thing for me is just being in shape so I can apply that through the entire fight, you know. So I feel like not only am I a great athlete, you know, but I you know, I keep learning. You know, that's the main thing. I try to go in there and just learn something every day. You know, try to improve on something every day. So, and that's been like that's just been a current theme, you know, in my mind for my entire career. You know, just trying to enjoy the process and really learn stuff. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I told you how I saw the fight. How about you tell us, what do you envision when you see this fight in your head?
When I see this fight in my head, I'm like a furious, unrelenting tornado of mixed martial arts, and I'm just invalidating Caros' style at every turn. I'm just making him just be disgusted with me, like he never wants to get in there with me again. And that's what I see for every fight.
That's interesting. All right, that's the high-speed human chess. High-speed human chess matches is what you're playing, and slowly but surely you're squeezing him where he's uncomfortable and making him adjust to you and fighting your fight, executing your plan, slowly breaking down the opponent. I like
You
it.
should be asking you the question. That's a way better answer than mine.
I like yours. I kind of picture the Tasmanian devil when he said that.
Mm-hmm. Well, he did start off by saying a tornado, but you know, through that process, he carefully explained that he wants to make the other guy feel uncomfortable. So it was a different type. It was the same answer we've heard from other fighters, but he went on to explain that you know, by throwing his array of skills of martial arts via a tornado at Caros has to adapt, and in that process where he's lacking in adapting, that's where Jason strikes even harder. Something like that, right, Jason?
Something like that, man. You're on it.
That's
sure.
Breaking the opponent. Yeah. All right. You're still doing work out in Strong Beach, California? Lakewood?
No, I'm in Kansas City.
Kansas City. All right. No more affiliation with the body shop?
No, I'm not training there anymore, but obviously I'm still cool with those guys, man. Well, Antonio McKee is a great coach, you know, great mentor. You know, he's an awesome guy.
And who do you train with in Kansas City?
I train at my own gym, American Top Team, Kansas City. I'm there with those guys, and I'm rolling all. You know, I'm getting workouts a lot of different places. I had to travel a little bit, but you know, it's all good.
How close are you to Tim Elliott and James Krause, for example?
We're about 40 minutes from them. I usually go out there like once or twice a week and get some work with those guys.
And then how far is Tyrone Woodley?
He's like 3 hours, 3.5, 4 hours east.
I see. Yeah, Middle America, man, them states are big, and sometimes it looks like you guys can just be gym bouncing like Southern California, where there's a lot more of them in the proximity. But I've noticed there's quite a distance. It's not as close as it looks sometimes on a map.
Yeah, I mean, Southern California, you know, I lived in Huntington Beach, and it took me 25, 30 minutes to get to Antonio's gym, just traffic and all that. So it's, you know, it's not any different really, you know.
But isn't it cool to look out the window and see hot-looking women, great weather, instead of running from a tornado while going to your practice?
Okay, let's just break this down, these stereotypes you got here. Number one, I've lived in the Midwest for my entire life, with the exception of a few years in California.
Right.
Never seen a tornado.
Come on.
Not saying that they don't happen.
Really? I got a
Never
buddy
in
that
my
lives in
life.
Oklahoma, and he says there's like one per month.
That's nonsense. He's lying to you. Number two, there are hot women everywhere. Just point blank. So
Huntington's an epicenter, though.
Huntington is an epicenter for surfing, I guess. But Huntington Beach doesn't have a monopoly on good-looking women.
Dude, that's a distribution point of hot women.
Yeah, it's like
they
it's
grow
like a
them
hub.
there, and then from there they send them out into the world.
Right.
I don't think that's how it works, but I don't know. I did live there, but I'm taken, so I'm not partaking in that.
You can look at the menu, you just can't order.
But yes, of course, I'm definitely looking at the menu. I'm just not sampling.
Caros Fodor, who's 33, told us he'd be done at 35. It was just a number that he had thought about before, and of course he's not set to it, depending on how he feels.
I said that when I was 30.
Oh, really?
I actually said that when I was 30. I was like, yeah, I'll be done at 35, I think. No, I said that. I said that a long time early in my career. I was like, yeah, I think I'll be done by 30.
How do you feel?
30. I feel great. 30 was 5 years ago, damn near 6 years ago. So I feel pretty good, man. So.
Well, we look forward to this fight. I'm sure you heard by now you're fighting in the infield of Daytona Speedway. It's going to be an event where people can watch a race, and then they're invited to come on down and watch some fights. So I have a feeling that anybody that's tuning into people racing cars at 200 miles an hour love an edgy sport like two people that are going out there to submit each other or knock each other's block off. So it should be a fun day out there in Daytona on June 30th.
Sure. I mean, NASCAR, obviously, I don't know if it's a NASCAR race, but it's obviously that style of racing and, the biggest spectator sport in the land. So, they obviously have passionate fans. I'm looking forward to getting to meet some of those guys and girls.
You can follow Jason High on Twitter at KCBanditMMA. And again, he fights at PFL 1 versus Caros Fodor on the main card at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, NBC Sports Network, Channel 220 if you have DirecTV. And that's on, again, June 30th. And I want to thank you, Jason, for joining us here on the show. It's been great catching up with you. We haven't talked to you in a while. And appreciate you joining us, and good luck with the rest of your camp. Safe travels to Florida.
Anytime, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, take care. We'll see you. All right, folks, let's take this break. When we come back, we'll be talking to Drakkar Klose. He may correct us and tell us it's Klose, but I'm going with Drakkar Klose.
Okay.
Because Miroslav Klose
there's the little things on top of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's
the
close.
German soccer player. Oh, is he close?
I mean, he's got to be because Klose is with the little things.
Right.
I don't know what they're called.
Right. So I think it's close. We'll see. We'll meet him when we come back. This is our first time having him. We're excited. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93.
taught Andy Griffith how to whistle. Here are Gorgeous George and Goes.
Our next guest is Drakkar Klose, 29 years of age, 7-0. That stands out. Love seeing that O. You know he's off to a good start. He means business. He's fighting in the UFC on July 7th at the Tough 25 finale. Mark Diakise is his opponent. He joins us now on MMA Junkie Radio. What's up, Drakkar? How you doing?
How y'all doing today? Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for joining us here on the show, and I'm glad we were able to straighten out the last name. It's Klose, not Klose. There's a soccer player named Miroslav Klose who plays for Germany, but he's got that little dash on top of the E, like Goes pointed out, and you didn't. So we had a feeling it was close.
Yeah. Like my grandparents are Polish and German, so when they moved over here, you know, they shortened it and just made it close.
Oh, all right. Did you draw that little dash above the E when you were little?
No. They used to have, it used to be SKI at the end.
Uh-huh.
So when they came over, they just made it close.
Oh, Kloski. You used to be a Kloski?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Interesting. You must have a ton of nicknames. Like, what do you go by?
I go by Dre, Ducky, Winner, whatever you want to call me.
Winner? I like Winner. But I was wondering if anybody said, like, hey, here comes Drac, you know, or Dracula, or DK, or
Drake.
Drake, or I don't know.
I've heard it. I've heard it all. You know.
Yeah.
Growing up, I always waited for the teacher to mess up my name when she would get to my name. So I had to hurry up and correct her before she messed it up.
Something tells me too about probably in your adolescence when you were a teenager, you had to rock that cologne Drakkar at some point, right? Just.
Oh yeah, of course. You know, I would always get that for like a Christmas gift and stuff like that. So, you know, I had to rock it.
Do you still rock it, or have you moved on from that?
Do
you still rock it?
I moved on for it, but But if they're gonna pay me to wear it, I'll start rocking it again.
It makes sense.
Why not, right?
Yeah, that'd be a good one. I like this fight versus Mark Diakise.
So when I get this belt, you know, I know it'll definitely be calling.
You know, it's interesting because it's a double-edged sword. I really encourage fighters to talk about their future, talk about their belts, and I always wonder when's too soon. You know, when's too soon, I guess, to bring that type of pressure on themselves. Some people can handle it, others can't. But so you're already envisioning how your career may pan out, and that you'll be fighting for a world title. Like you already having those types of aspirations.
You have to. If not, why are you fighting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. You're 7-0, and Diakise is 12-0. So very interesting matchup. Them pitting two young pit bulls early on against each other here, and I'm really looking forward to the fight. I like what he's done. I've heard a lot about you, and it's all happening here during International Fight Week. So that's quite a debut for a guy like yourself.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. You know, I'm glad. I think I'm a bad matchup for him, and it's going to be a lot of people are going to be watching, tuning in. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, no doubt. 7-0 overall. You got the 4 KOs. Tell us a little bit about your wrestling, your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Do you incorporate any judo? Like, what's the ground game training like?
My submissions, I'm not gonna lie, they're not the best, but I just try to just get a dominant position, just where I can lay some punches, and if he does give me his neck or something, I will take it. Just more of controlling when you roll with Benson Henderson, Tiquinho, all these high level jiu-jitsu players, your game's gonna get better.
Tiquinho, as in
Husamar
Paharis?
Tiquinho Mendez.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, I don't know about your boy Mendez. Paharis, I mean, say what you will about him, the antics and all that. He does have legit BJJ, so that's why I was wondering if it was him. But so there's another Tiquinho, and his name's Mendez. What's his deal? Is he a superstar as well in the BJJ world?
Yeah, he fights in the UFC. He was a world champion.
Oh, no shit. What's his first name?
Yeah, he fought Chiquinho Mendez. He fought Funk Master, his last fight.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Well, cool. There's so many fighters that they throw at us nowadays that I guess we do need the full name and a little bit of a history, and then you start to put it together. All right, Drakkar Klose, our guest here on MMA Junkie Radio, he'll be fighting at Tough 25 finale on July 2nd, and that's the first event of 2. Now, there's also a Hall of Fame on Thursday, a Tough finale on Friday, and then UFC 213 on Saturday. So come on down, folks. It's happening in a few weeks, and this should be a great fight against Mark Diakise. I think the Mark name threw me off. Goes, what do you have for Drakkar?
Drakkar, what was it like to get that first UFC fight under your belt? And were there any nerves, and how did all that play out? Did it feel like home to you once you got in there?
Yeah, it was awesome. You know, it was right here, and I'm originally from Michigan, but I've trained here in Phoenix. You know, it's pretty much in my backyard. You know, I've cornered Vincent for big fights and other fighters here at the gym. It just felt like another day in the office, you know. No nerves. I felt more nervous at weigh-ins than fight time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the same thing's going to happen, you know, no nerves going there for this fight, you know, and just get the job done.
What were you most proud of in your last performance? And if you had to take a criticism from it, what would you pull out?
You know, I thought my cardio was, thought I was in good shape, you know. I think I'm in better shape this one. I think I could have finished the fight against Devin Powell, but, you know, you live and you learn, so.
You have four brothers or 3 and you make 4?
I have 4 brothers, and I have a best friend, you know, I consider a brother, and so it's 5, you know, 5 of us.
And did all of them also have any form of a fighting background, like combat sports? Like, I'm sure growing up with them probably prepped you for high school wrestling, college wrestling. Just, you know, growing up with 4 brothers does that.
Yeah. We all wrestled. We all were not all state champions, but we all were state qualifiers, state placers. You know, we fought a lot. It kind of sucked growing up because I was always bigger than them. So my older brother would have my 3 younger ones fight me with weapons, and I had to fight them, you know, bare hand. And I don't know, it was kind of weird, but, you know, it made us tougher.
What kind of weapons?
That's an orchestrator right there, that brother, right? He's a promoter.
What kind of weapons?
Yeah, I know, right? I remember my brother cracked me with some nunchucks.
Go.
I just remember running out the house. I was kind of pissed off. I ran down the street.
I thought he was going to say like a pillow and a Nerf football or something.
Yeah, usually it's like some kind of toy or something, like a bowling pin
but
or something.
But nunchucks was one of them. What was the other weapon? A knife?
Yeah. No, they were just, you know, sticks, like little play weapons that we had, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's crazy.
Hey, it made me tougher, you know. It made me the man who I am today.
How much older was that brother that orchestrated all this?
He's 10 years older.
Oh, I see. Okay, so there's an influence there. Wow.
Yeah.
And
I was much bigger. I was a little fat kid when I was younger. So, and they were all little skinny string beans. So.
But they all wrestled, huh?
They needed something to slow me down. Yeah.
Very cool. Like, was it like a wrestling family in terms of like all your accomplishments? Does everybody know who the Kloses are?
Yeah, in Michigan, yes. My brother went on. He actually coached D2 in Nebraska, and then my other brothers, they just, you know, after high school, they just didn't pursue it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Wow, this is interesting. All state. Yeah, I heard you were all state in high school, and did you have a lot of opportunities for scholarships? I mean, I don't know how many schools actually have like that type of funding that they're able to give you know, athletes full rides.
Yeah, you know, I got a couple Division I offers. You know, I signed with them, but you know, I wish I would have hit the books a little harder you know, when I took the ACT, I thought it was the first one done wins, you know.
Yeah. So, but you have to have a certain amount of grades to continue competing, right?
Yeah. I went to junior college and NAI schools in Russell.
That's awesome.
So.
That's a work ethic that you'll keep for the rest of your life. I mean, if you're able to, get through those practices, right? High school and college.
Of course, and and one thing that sticks with me is like my mom. She told me just never, if you start something, you're not gonna quit it. So, I started competing and I haven't stopped. And she has my back, along the whole way. So.
What do you think you've added to the MMA lab? Obviously your work ethic and, some wrestling, but do you feel like you're one of the leaders yet there, with all the veterans that they have?
I believe I am. I think sometimes I need to be a little bit more vocal. I'm more like I'll, take Crouch to the side and let him know my opinion on things. But I think I just need to step up with being more vocal with the guys.
All right. Well, it's interesting finding out more about you, and we're looking forward to your fight. We're located in Vegas, so we'll be seeing you in a few weeks. But the rest of your camp, I hope it's healthy for you, and I can't wait for this fight. It should be a good one. And your PR guy is one of the best out there. He told us a lot about you, so we were excited to have you on the show, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you. I got a question for you guys.
All right.
Who are y'all taking in this fight?
You, dog. Mama didn't raise
Hey, keep it 100.
Nah, for real. Yeah.
We can make a little. We can make a little friendly bet.
Here's why I'm gonna say you, just because we've heard a lot about you even before all this came up. So we've been kind of watching you a little bit, and we like what we see. Well, I don't know, George. I'm speaking for George, but
yeah. Well, I think Bone Crusher's pretty legit. So you said to keep it 100, right? I guess if someone put a gun to my head and said we're pulling the trigger if you don't get it right, he's got a little bit more experience than you in the UFC, and he has been pretty legit. So you could tell just by the early part of the interview. I had forgotten about the Devin Powell. That was the fight card where BJ Penn fought, right, with Yair. So I just didn't know as much about you, but you can ask anybody. I usually do side with the wrestler when it's close. So that's a tough one, man. Going into the interview, before we knew more about you, I probably would have easily said, give me the Bone Crusher. Now I'll have to go back and just see some fights, see what's up. But I do side a lot with the wrestlers because I believe in the work ethic, the toughness, and those are the fighters that rarely break in fights. So that's a tough one. I'll tell you what, though. We'll answer it face-to-face. Even if it costs us getting slapped, we'll answer it face-to-face. A couple weeks when you get to Vegas when we do a little bit more studying. How's that sound?
Sounds great. Thank you for keeping 100. I don't want you to lie to me.
That's what's up. All right, man.
Wasn't that your opportunity to go? I wouldn't slap you guys. You kind of kept it 100 too, didn't you?
Yeah.
He does plan on slapping us if we say Diakase is gonna win.
No.
He's like, Pah! There you go.
No.
You have a name for the slap up there in Arizona or in Michigan? You guys have a name for it?
I don't slap. I'd rather just knock you out.
Right, but
slapping me, you're still gonna be moving.
There's legal repercussions that come with that, though. So a nice slap usually sends the message, and
the mark is gone after about a minute.
Yeah, it kind of works. Yeah, so if you don't want to get in some trouble going forward, that's a little bit of a piece of advice for you. Usually the slap will get the job done. It sends a message, and you won't be being led away in handcuffs or getting thrown out of the club or wherever you're at.
Like the Sun Devil slap or something.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's just to me it's just a bitch slap. Slap.
There you go, man. All right, cool. Thanks for the time, Drakkar. Awesome to talk to you.
Yep, thank you for having me on.
All right, we'll see you. You can follow Drakkar on Twitter at Drakkar Klose, DRAKKARKLOSE. Also follow Caros Fodor on Twitter, just like his name, CAROSFODOR. It's not Fedor, it's Fodor. So those are our last two guests. We're going to take this break here, and when we come back, we'll talk to Jason, the intern, who's no longer an intern. We miss him. He's doing his thing up there in the coupe, but he's finishing out what he started, and that's recapping The Ultimate Fighter. Episode 10 aired yesterday with 2 fights, so we'll find out more about the episode and what's coming forward as we close out the season. I think there's only 2 episodes left.
Great episode last
And
night.
the winner will have will make $250,000, man. You could definitely tell the intensity between all the veterans that have been in the season, how much they really want this. We'll be right back, folks.
Recognize it?
Yeah. To all the killers and the $100 bill.
do what they say. Your life will be a lot better. Here are Gorgeous and Goes.
Here's a couple quick comments. Orlando Figueroa says Mayweather's getting KO'd in the 5th. This is via the Facebook chat. Orlando, you're crazy. Abel Orozco, he's feeling me. He says, rig a fight, come on. Mayweather takes pride in the record, 50-0. That's for Jim in Long Beach. Lee Matt says, Caros, you sound horrible. Did he have bad sound?
I don't think so.
Joe Legan, sorry. I hate the series took you guys off and put a wrestling show on. Well, the wrestling show's been around actually longer than us. They, I think really, Cavino and Rich bumped us an hour, right, Goes?
Yeah, to start.
And then what bumped us the other hour?
That's when they moved.
Was it?
Busted
open? Okay.
Hi.
Oh, hey, send me the squid. And so, you know, we hope to be back soon. I think also the Barstool guys, they had a hand in all this. But we'll see.
Well,
we're gonna fight for that pretty soon. I really want to get back on live. I know we're played on Sirius 2 times a day anyway. But we got Facebook going, we got YouTube going, we got a lot going on. MMA history today.
MMA history today, Danny, go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So, Goes already.
Stupid intro. All right, go ahead.
You guys were so excited. It was like George passed it to you, and then you passed it to me. I felt like we were passing a basketball or something. Anyway, so, wow, George just got off the microphone. Okay. I was gonna have him guess. All right, June 22nd, 2002.
So bad.
You guys are cutting into Jason B's time.
Go.
15 years ago today, a 34-year-old Joe Rogan made his commentary debut at UFC 37.5. What? Can I get a quick explanation on how you can do a 37.5 for a fight card?
Go ahead, Joe.
It's in between 38 and 37.
There is an explanation for it. I just don't remember. But yeah, there was a 37.5 out there. I think they did it one other time too, but I don't know. I don't know why they had that numbering like that.
And that's MMA history today, George.
Joe Rogan debuting. He looks entirely different too.
Oh yeah. A lot of people do though.
I suppose.
But I think I know where
you know who looks really different is and
Dana.
he'd be a candidate. Yeah, Dana for sure. He'd be a candidate, I think, for full micropigmentation. Did you see Jesse Taylor yesterday on Tough Talk?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Chill.
I'm glad Bisping was busting his balls about his attire. I mean, he looked completely different, but they kept panning back to when he was partying 7-8 years ago. He had a full head of hair.
I thought they gave him the perfect out.
And now it looked like I thought they were going to say this is Jesse Taylor's dad. He looked that much older.
When Karen said, "Everything okay with your flight?" he should have said, "Man, they lost my luggage."
Yeah.
Right? That was the perfect out.
They did.
He was like, "Nah, it's pretty good."
All right, follow them on Twitter at MMA History Today. They're great guys. Marco, make it quick. What's up, Marco?
Marco from Hueco Road. Torn apart with this Germany-Chile game, dude. Because my son is German. You know, he lives in Stuttgart with his mom. And, of course, I had to fly the Chile flag. And they're tied 1-1. I'm dying here, man. Who should I root for, man? Who should I root for?
Root for Chile. You sound more like a Chileno than you do German.
Yeah, there's no German at all. Your son's German. He should be rooting for Germany, but you're Chileno.
When you go, Marco from Waco, nobody ever goes, what part of Germany is Waco?
Exactly.
Pasos los. Okay, guys. I'll talk about the fights tomorrow. Peace out.
All right. He's out.
Oh, all right.
He's a team player. We have the OT to rely on if we need to. Don't worry about Jason B. We'll get to you. Orlando from Connecticut. What's up, Orlando?
What's going on, guys? So I have a question I wanted to ask you guys as far as the Conor Mayweather fight, obviously. Everyone seems really confident that Conor's going to go back to the UFC. Do you guys think that that's a contractual type of deal, which is why they said, hey, like, we're allowing you to fight Mayweather, but you got to sign here that you will fight 1, 2, maybe 3 fights? And if so, do you think December and against Nate before Tony Ferguson?
Well, here's the thing. Like, I mean, maybe a gentleman's agreement. Could they really force him? If someone retires,
I think
they
they
retire.
could. They could.
So what?
But
They would
here's the
deduct
thing.
some of the pay-per-view points he made off this fight. I mean, they have no
Nah.
role as the promoter or anything. I think once the check's cut, it's cut.
What they could say is
If you don't
Obviously,
commit, we'll take the belt away right away.
He can retire,
Uh-huh.
but he can't fight anywhere else, right? So if Conor in his head's thinking, all right, I'll just retire, but I'm not taking another boxing fight. I'm not doing, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think at that point the UFC would go, all right, you know,
Is that only as an MMA athlete, or does that go for all combat sports?
I think there would be something for all combat sports.
Really?
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Okay.
You got to protect your business.
Yeah. But I think he just loves fighting. I think people, as much as he loves money, I think people are underestimating how much he loves to fight. That's why I think, especially because his last fight went so easy for him, and I think he just keeps growing in confidence. As confident as he was then, he's even more confident.
UFC 200.
I mean, he put down Nate Diaz like 3 times in that fight, easy. Then he put down Eddie Alvarez, easy. Like, I mean, he's very confident in his power. The only thing is just how much does he continue to work on takedown defense, jiu-jitsu for survival, not for offense. You know, just sweep, get back on top. You know, get back because, you know, there's some beasts out there like Khabib, man. He puts you down, and that's a nightmare down there. Tony Ferguson's another guy who's always attacking the neck. But as far as striking, I think he's just as confident. Even against Woodley or Thompson, it doesn't matter. He's very, very confident in his hands.
Woodley, geez.
Yeah. All right, Orlando. Thanks for the call.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Take it easy.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
All right. Danny, cue up the music for Jason B., the intern. He will be recapping episode 10 of The Ultimate Fighter, season 25.
Not bad. You better come charging through the door like Kool-Aid, though.
How's it going, gentlemen?
What's up, homie?
I'm good. What about yourself, man?
Doing all right. Can't complain. It's been a fun day. Had a lot of interviews. Watching some soccer here out of the corner of our eyes. And, of course, in about five hours or so, the NBA draft kicks off.
There you go. How do you feel your Lakers are going to do today, Gigi?
I mean, D'Angelo Russell, I think we got number 2 overall. And he was good.
He averaged like 17 points a game, right?
He was good, but he wasn't great. Steph Curry was good in his first few years. Then he became great. So I'm scared that could D'Angelo Russell become great, and we just didn't see it.
He didn't have the players
and
surrounding him.
If we draft Lonzo Ball, could he become great? I don't know. There's so many things out there. But I do like that we got, as silly as it sounds, one of the biggest moves was getting that contract off, Mozgov, because that allows for other potential big names to come, who haven't come in the last few years, but hopefully now with Magic at the helm and, you know, a few of the other guys out of the way and Luke Walton running the show, young guys panning out, hopefully LA becomes attractive again.
No kidding. How's Vegas with the buzz with the whole expansion draft yesterday? I was watching that, and the whole city seemed like they were pumped for the team coming.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I saw some video clips of that.
I filed it under pay no mind. I may have to change my mind. I didn't realize the season was starting. Huh?
Golden Knights.
I know. But I kind of tuned out of hockey a few years ago. So if the Squid comes through with some tickets and I put a bet on and I feel it, maybe I get back into it. Cool. It's an awesome arena. I really love the colors. Squid's boss owns the damn team. That's pretty cool too. So I could reverse course here, but the Mighty Ducks, that's how long ago I used to be a fan. The Mighty Ducks really turned me off to hockey, the way they ran their team and
that's Disney though.
Just at that time is when the UFC, you know, started to take off, and there's only so many hours in the day. Jason, tell me about Tough 25. What did you think of the 2 matchups, and did the right guys advance?
Well, it was episode 10, so we hit the 2-number mark. So I've enjoyed the season a lot. It's been really good fights, and that kept up this episode. The first fight, they kind of jumped right into the weigh-ins. They jumped right into the fights. The whole episode was pretty much.
Oh, did we lose him?
Yeah, it looks like we just lost him.
We did, huh? Shit. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. We're up against the clock.
Want to reschedule for tomorrow?
Should we?
I think so, right?
I think so, too. I think maybe we should do that. I mean, we didn't hang up on him. I didn't touch it, so he must have got cut off. maybe that's what we'll do. Well, I was willing to do a little bit of overtime, but this just organically happened. There were 2 fights. We haven't talked about it much, and I'll tell you what, tomorrow we'll just have to lead off. What happened there?
It was fun, just probably got disconnected.
Yeah, he hasn't called back or anything. Well, maybe this is just
bad service in the coupe.
The way the show ends, unfortunately. Tomorrow we'll be joined by Mark Ratner. He'll be here in studio. And Carlos Silva will also join us from the World Series of Fighting. Rich Franklin from One Championship. 3 executives
spreading the love
from 3 top organizations will join us here on MMA Junkie Radio. And obviously we will squeeze in Jason B from the Couve. I'm still watching VX. Nothing, right, Danny?
No, he didn't call back.
Shit. It's like someone yanked his phone. Hopefully he didn't get beheaded or something. So I want to thank our guests for today, Michael Chiesa. Thank you, Danny Rube. Caros Fodor, Jason Hyde. Thank you, Greg Savage. Drakkar Klose. Thank you, Ed Cap. And Jason B. I don't know what happened. Usually they call right back. There's nothing. We got to move on. We're out of here, folks. Again, Mark Ratner in studio in the first hour. Carlos Silva, Rich Franklin, former UFC middleweight champ, now One Championship exec. They'll both join us in the second hour. It's going to be a lot of fun. And don't forget, this weekend is Bellator, NYC, and UFC Fight Night 112. So lots to cover on the MMA Junkie Radio Show. Go to MMAjunkie.com throughout the day. We're going to bow out here a little early and play along with Ellis. See you, folks. Be champions.
With your neon flashing and your one-arm bandits crashing, almost falls down the drain. Fever, Las Vegas turning day into nighttime, turning night into daytime. If you see it once, you'll never be the same again. I'm gonna keep on the run. I'm gonna have me some fun. It cost me my very last dime.